Welcome to another episode of What I Learned from Bobby Hemmett. I am, inspired to make a audio. Videos are going to come much later because right now I am on limited data usage. But so we will see. Okay. Why am I making this audio right now? I picked up the phone. I am speaking spontaneously, and I am going to react to this show called Ready to Love. Now, I happened to find it, right? YouTube puts stuff in your face, and when you're really bored, you start to click on stuff, right? I usually stay away from trendy things, but I'm so far away from it that, okay, to just see what's happening, I'll click on something. That particular thing, that show, I never heard about it. I'm not watching any TV. I don't have a TV, I don't have cable. And I don't watch anything like those shows. However, it just popped up, and out of curiosity, I clicked on it. And something that made me click on it, you wouldn't think to click on it, but there was consistency in the presentation, in the YouTube presentation, that every video was a red screen with a very clear title and very organized segments that said number 1, 2, 3, part 1, 2, 3. It was super organized. That red screen got my attention because I saw other listings besides, I saw multiples of her very clear organized presentation. And the person that I watched their uploads was not ready to love. Hashtag not ready to love. Now, like I said, it was only her title screen that got my attention because it was red and because it was consistent. So somebody made a series of that. And just out of curiosity, I looked at it. And what I liked about it is that it was a very organized way to show the development of the show. And it wasn't just somebody talking saying, I don't like this person, now they shouldn't have did this, and this person showed the video and they texted their reaction, but they did it in a very intelligent way. Like, they cut through the bullshit, and what they did is translate what the fakery is on the TV, which if you're awake, this person has to be conscious, because if you're not awake, you think that everything they say is true, and you're just eating it up. But if you're conscious, you will see they're reading a script. If you're conscious, you will accept, yeah, this is scripted. Yes, but you can actually see them reading a script. But regardless of that, you just have to know that they are actors and they're playing a role. Some of them are genuine. Some of them are actors. They audition for this show. Some are your everyday person. But in order to pull off being on TV, you have to be an actor. You have to be. Anyway, like I said, some were average, and you could tell that because most people aren't that expressive, and they're just not that expressive. So the men were kind of dull, in my opinion. Jason is the most charismatic, but let me shut up. I'm not talking about that. Excuse me. I'm here to talk about Bobby Hemmett, and that's another thing. This thing is a big distraction for black people. It gives them something to talk about besides Jesus. So the peanut butter and jelly gang know that. Let's give them a good show. Let's give them a show that seems like we're rooting for them. But they really weren't. They were humiliating people. Humiliating people. They did show a variety of people. There's some people that don't even fit in that category of black. And I'm going to dare to say it. They don't fit in that category of black. So I don't think they should be included in that. I don't think they should, because we live in a world of extreme racism. Extreme, like psychopathic racism. So, I'm saying the truth. You can deny it, and you can say, oh, they're melanated, they're black, whatever. They're not. We're going by society standards. We're not going by your Rainbow Coalition, we are the world hypnotism. In reality, the lighter you are, the better you are treated and thought of as to be pretty. And nose jobs are the norm now, so I'm not going to rag on a nose job. Because if I had the money, I would do it only because of other people's thinking. Only because I've always accepted myself. I never knew I had a big nose until somebody told me, actually. Somebody told me I have a big nose. I never knew that. I lived kind of sheltered. I've never had anybody tease me about anything. So, I'm a friendly person and I make friends with everybody. So, your nose is supposed to be distinctive to you, Your nose is supposed to be different. That is what qualifies you as a unique being. That's part of what makes you unique, is the nose. Anyway, let's put that card on the table. Let me hurry up with this because I'm eating up my, let me turn this off, my data. Okay, so anyway, what do I want to say about Ready to Love? And by the time this gets posted, Ready to Love is going to be old news. It's going to be old news. Because this ain't getting posted fast. Excuse me. So what am I going to say about Ready to Love? I'm going to write some notes while I'm talking. Number 1, Ready to Love. And any show, any big time show that gets on TV requires a sacrifice. And you should know what a sacrifice is. It means that somebody gets murdered. Somebody gets murdered and butchered, and their melanin gets used. Sorry to tell you that. I gotta eat this chip, excuse me. Maybe I didn't have to eat that chip, but I didn't want to leave it out too long. Okay, so anyway, it's going to require sacrifice. I'll give you an example. And I would say within 3 years, and I'm just throwing out a number, enough time for you to forget about it. Enough time for you to think, oh, so-and-so had a happy ending. Nope. They don't get to have an happy ending. You don't get to have an happy ending. Number 2, I'm supposed to tell you the example. Now, there was a show, and a lot of these shows I'm very late on. I'm at least 3 years late on something that was a big show on cable or something. I'm 3 years late. It's like somebody uploaded the whole show and I was really bored, and then I came across the show. So there's another show that I happened to watch, again, kind of out of boredom. It's Little Women of Atlanta. I think it was of Atlanta. There's 2 versions. One of them was better than the other. I started to look at one of them, and that was the good one. And then the second one I tried to look at, I couldn't finish it. It wasn't interesting enough. Little Women of Atlanta was more interesting than the Little Women, I think, of Texas or something like that. So Little Women of Atlanta, one of those wonderful ladies was sacrificed. I am translating for you. They were sacrificed. She did not just die. She did not just die. I'm just putting that card on the table. So I'm letting you know that somebody from this show is going to be sacrificed. You are going to hear some tragic end to them, or their mother or father. One of those things are going to happen. Later on, it will be a cast member. After they let you feel like, that was a nice black show, and oh, that was nice, and oh, people can become famous, and oh, these people are minor celebrities now. They're hometown celebrities now. Yeah, wait until 5 years, and I'm adding some years for you. It only takes about 3 years. I didn't do a calculation. I'm just throwing out a number. Somebody from that show is going to get sacrificed. I can tell you another show. Ivana. You know the lady I'm talking about. I'm not saying her name disrespectfully. I just honestly don't know her exact name right now to say it properly. But she is the life coach, counselor, relationship guru, who is a Freemason. Because anybody that's in the fraternities and sororities, they're Freemason. So they're in a they're next to the average Joe Schmo level. They will always get preference because it's not a secret society, it's a public society, but you, by way of being in that, you get contacts, and you can, they are part of the boule if you didn't know that, okay? So Iyanla, I'm sorry, I should look up her name right now, but I'm not. Her son, I researched this lady. I discovered her. I discovered who she is. Meaning I happened to see one of her videos, and I looked up a lot of her videos, a lot of her shows. They were interesting. They were good. She's pretty forceful. I'm not saying she was right all the time. Sometimes she was a little biased, really, you know. She cut an attitude too hard with people. I would say 80-20. 20%, she was doing her job to humiliate the black person, basically. Other times, okay, she was trying to direct them and be the person of their culture and the senior person to say, hey, look at yourself. Get yourself straight. This ain't right, etc. Her son, in all the shows that I've watched of her, talking about herself and whatever on different levels, because they humiliated her too, but they keep her because she talks about Jesus. So now, as long as she keep talking up Jesus, hey, you're on the air. You are on the air. Now, why do I say that? Because Jesus doesn't have any effect in the universe. Sorry to tell you that. Jesus is an invented character for the people that run the world. So put that card on the table. You can research it. Sorry to tell you that. But the celebrities are used to promote that. So even if they do a humiliation ritual, if they can still use you, they'll bring you back up and put you back on stage and have you talk about Jesus, because then you are the hero for the black person. Because they know that they humiliated you and you were down and practically broke and bankrupt. But somehow you lasted, right? And now you're talking about Jesus. That is the formula. Who did they do that to? Cat Williams. He's playing both sides. Anything these people say on TV, it isn't, they don't write the script. Their managers write the script for them. And now, let me balance that out. They don't write all of the script. They give ideas. They write some of it. But any political thing or any slanderous thing, it has to get approved by their manager. So their manager will slide in and add the social engineering agenda. And part of the social engineering agenda is to keep black people thinking about Jesus that has no power in the universe. Sorry to tell you that. So Cat William was down. He was humiliated. He was, Illuminati, yada, yada, yada. And he's still here talking about Jesus now. Kanye's, I'm giving you example after example. You can make a video and say what, how this is not true and Jesus is still supreme and king and all this stuff. Kanye spoke about getting his master's, peed on the Grammy. That probably came from him, right? And what do they have Kanye do? Go to the lobotomy center, get some electrocutions, dye your hair blonde, symbolically that you're going to follow the powers that be. Come back out, meet Trump, say you're going to run for president, some outlandish shit, to make people still believe in this fake concept of America. Anybody can be president. Har, har, har. And start talking about Jesus. Go to Africa. Don't go to the black people, because the black people know you're full of shit. You got to go to Africa and act like you're going to be a hero and rescue people, and then let the black American get brainwashed by that nonsense and see it on TV from a distance. Then we'll come back here and we'll partner you up with Joel Osteen. And that'll be hard for Joel Osteen to swallow and step aside, But he knows that you are the divine power and that he needs you on their side. Talking about a fake Jesus. Even though you could research Kanye and see him wearing the Baphomet, which is just, I think Ba is body. Fa comes from the word alchemy. Fa means alchemy, P-H-A. It comes from the word pharmacy, pharmaceutical. That's where P-H-A is coming from. It has to do with alchemy. And C-Y, what is that? I guess an organization, institution, C-Y. What ends in C-Y? Efficiency, democracy. It's a belief, I think. efficiency, democracy, society, but that isn't a CY. Right now I can't think of CY ending words, but you follow that pattern, you can decode it. But I researched Baphomet, okay? Baphomet is the animal icon that is symbolizing as above, so below. That the lower half of your body is kind of related to the root chakra, meaning earthly urges, eating, and I guess intimacy or something like that. So you're grounded to the earth, but then the upper half of your body is supposed to be a spiritual level. But regardless, you are connected to nature. That is what the whole thing is about. Okay? They just happen to pick that animal. Okay? Every animal is sacred. They happen to pick that animal to vilify that animal and turn him into the fake devil that doesn't exist. Because he has the horns. So the Baphomet that you see is a created cartoon that, has been villainized and just has been told to you as something bad, and it's not. So, let's see what time it is. 20 minutes. I should stop now. I don't need to make a lot of points about this. I only said 2 points. I said, Ready to Love is going to require someone to be sacrificed. And that's going to happen probably within 3 years. Enough time for you to forget about it. The sacrifice is going to be a cast member or a close relative of a cast member. And that is like mathematics now. That is mathematics. That is a formula. That is something that has happened, is a pattern, and it's going to happen again. That's why I can actually say that. That's why I'm bold enough to even make a video and audio to even speak it. I already gave you two examples. I said Iyanla, her son was sacrificed. And I told you about Cat Williams. Oh, the second point I want to make is that Ready to Love is a distraction. It's a distraction from you learning about your higher self and your spiritual identity and your God genes. And your God genes are on a spiritual level that is very hard for you to comprehend, but you need to start learning about it. So, I said point number 1. Point number 2 is that it's a distraction for you, for black people. And number 3, I am letting you know that religion is a distraction for you too. And these sacrifices have to do with these 3 points. Cast member sacrificed or close relative. And sacrifice means murder, arranged murder. Or it's a murder, but they're going to tell you unknown causes. Hit by a car, like Nicki Minaj's dad. Oh, this man doesn't know how to cross the fucking street? I mean, where the fuck was he? Was he in India or something? If he was in a foreign country and got hit by a car, I could almost swallow that. Now, Americans, they have so much ego, they will run your ass over. However, the level of his money and his location doesn't even make any sense. I mean, was he walking on a fucking highway or what? How can you just get hit by a car? How can you get fatally hit by a car? I know it happens. I have experienced in my short lifetime A little boy got hit by a car, but that was crossing a highway, and he was a little disabled in the brain, and he ran out into the street. I remember seeing that as a kid. I saw where the chalk marks were of his body. Another person I know, they got hit on the bicycle, but I think they were drunk also. So his reaction time was slow. And obviously, I mean, I don't know when that happened. Maybe it was at night. I don't know. But the person was going fast, and they didn't. Both of them thought, hey, you're going to stop or I'm going to stop. And that didn't happen. I don't know exactly how it happened, but I'm just guessing. Now, let me think. Is there anybody else I know that got hit by a car? Not that I can recall, but 2 people is too much for me to actually have that experience. 2 people is too much. Anyway, back to this. The show is a distraction, and the show is always going to make you reinforce religion to you. I don't think I have anything else to say about Ready to Love. I'm not here to say my opinion about it. I'm here to try to wake you up and tell you facts about it. There's going to be a sacrifice. And I gave you the 3 examples. Little Women, that wonderful lady, as soon as she started making some money, right, end up dead. Well, murdered, sacrificed. Plus, she comes from, her energy comes from a certain spiritual realm that has her be a little person. So it's actually very sacred. I mean, everybody is sacred. Everybody with melanin is sacred. But she's a little extra special. Okay? I gave you the example of Cat Williams. His distraction is religion. He came back talking about religion. Kanye came back talking about religion. Iyanla, her son was sacrificed. She has her own TV show, multiples. And she's still on. She has her own, I think, YouTube channel show. What is she doing? Talking about religion. Little Women, reality show, major sacrifice. Now, there's probably other shows. I know there's other shows that have sacrifices, except it is not in my short-term memory. I have to research it, and I don't watch a lot of reality shows. Only if the thing is super huge, and I start to see it on YouTube, and I'm going to say 10 years after the fact. At least 3 years after the fact is when I find out the show even existed. And then I get to binge watch the thing, and watch the whole thing. That's what happened. So that's why I only know about Little Women and Little Women. And then just now, I just watched all of Ready to Love thing. That goes for both seasons. Yeah, out of both seasons. It starts to get better, right? The second season was better than the first season. But what I happened to start watching was the first season. The second season I watched because of the excellent presentation by a YouTuber that said hashtag not ready to love. And she analyzed that show. And she did an awesome job. I don't have anything to do with her. I don't know her. But by YouTube, you can reference people, and it feels like you know them, or it sounds like you know them. I don't know her from anything. I just have to at least say the YouTube channel that I got good information about the show. So, of course, we wish these people success, But again, I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to tell you some truth. And those three key elements are always going to be. And I'm just going to add on one more real quick, is that a lot of times these sacrifices are on a holiday. They're on a holiday within a week of the holiday. Because a holiday, HOL, has to do with the sun. I forgot the root word I'm supposed to reference hall. But I researched this HOL before, and it has to do with the sun, and it has to do with light. And those two words have to do with your soul. And your soul also has to do with stars, because the stars are light, but they also are the soul bodies of your ancestors, in case you didn't know that. So the holidays are ancient days where the energies of your ancestors are increased. Not all of them, I'm not going to say in detail, but each holiday, because we have so many, it's an energy that is magnified during that time. So, if you want to make an intention about something, or use the magnetic field of the universe to do something, you just add a melanated body on top of that, and you will be creating your reality with that. And that is what the powers that be do, as well as partaking of eating you, because you are the Christ. They literally are eating you. Now, you don't want to believe that. You don't want to believe they have chopped liver in the freezer. You don't want to believe that they have cannibalism as a norm, but you don't know about it. But what you can do is you can look on Amazon or some big vitamin retailer online, and you can order melatonin pills. You can order vials of blood. You can order what do they call it? Gosh, I gotta write this down. Adrenochrome. And I'm not even going to get into telling you what that is, because I'm basically telling you what it is. It's melanin and parts of the body that are melanated. So that ends another episode of What I Learned from Bobby Hemmett. What I'm saying to you sounds outlandish. Well, if you had the time to research it, it wouldn't be so outlandish. If you're, that's all I'm going to say. I didn't say a lot. I just said, I'm speaking on the level of the masses right now. I'm speaking to the masses, the people that are watching these reality shows. Now, let this information stick with you, and one day it's going to click. It's going to, hey, I remember this lady. I remember hearing somebody say something like that. It's the truth that's going to come out of what I'm saying. It's going to come to you. It has to. I declare that it does. Everything I said is the truth of the universe. So we wish for your consciousness, and that ends another episode of The Universe and Reality TV.